I don't see what's wrong with an old-fashioned fruitcake.
Fruitcake left in every one of us. That's right.
Hey there, happy Monday. I stumbled across some of the dried fruit that I have in my house. I like to make fruitcakes to give away every year, and people accept them at least, so hopefully that means that they're good. But this fruit is from Thanksgiving time, so I want to get rid of it. So we're going to try making fruitcake ice cream. My thought is that we're going to kind of take a rum raisin approach to this. So even though I've put all this fruit in here, we probably won't use it all. So that's about a cup worth of dried fruit. To that we add our 1 cup of milk and 1 cup of heavy cream. We will add in the zest of 1 lemon, the zest of 1 orange, and about a tablespoon of butter. And then I've got a teaspoon of cinnamon, a couple of cloves, and a couple of allspice berries, as well as 2/3 of a cup of sugar. And we'll just go with a splash, probably a tablespoon worth of apple juice. And as before, we'll just bring that up to a nice simmer. Alright, that is simmering, so we will kill the heat, give it one last stir, and we will put the lid on it. So we're going to steep the fruit and all the spices in the milk mixture for at least 20 minutes. We want all that flavor to go through and get absorbed by the milk. Okay, 20 minutes later, let's take the lid off. Alright, we've got a really thick mixture here. But it's cooled down enough that we can add the egg yolks. We're going to do 2. We can add them directly in there. And again, the heat up to low. And we will just stir that until the eggs thicken. We have our strainer on top of our plastic container, and we will strain all of this. We don't want any of those allspice berries and cloves, and the dried fruit has hopefully given up all of its flavor. So we'll just strain that out. And as we're straining, we'll just push on the back of that fruit. We want to get all the liquid out that we can, because that's where all of our flavor is. Please ignore the mess that I'm making. Don't make a mess.
Look at this mess.
And now we pour in our final 1 cup of heavy cream. Stir that up, and we'll throw a lid on it and put it in the fridge overnight.
Well, I better go put this fruitcake in the refrigerator before it gets any harder.
For the mix-ins, and if you're familiar with my fruitcake recipe, you know that we're missing a few things. So I'm going to take another 1/2 cup of that dried fruit, and I think I failed to mention, but this is dried apricots, cranberries, blueberries, and cherries somewhere in there. There's some, and raisins, golden raisins, because we love golden raisins. We are going to add some rum, which I still have from November because I don't drink. So we'll just cover that in rum. Put a lid on it, and we're going to let that soak overnight so that the rum gets infused into the dried fruits.
You were the ones that sent me the fruitcake for Christmas. It made me so sick.
It's the next morning. We've got our ice cream. Our fruit has soaked. I want to just pour any of that liquid that's still in the fruit. Go ahead and pour that into the ice cream. And into the machine it goes. Go ahead and turn that up to our soft serve consistency, and then we'll dump that fruit in. Okay, we are most of the way there, so we're gonna take our dried fruit, our reconstituted dried fruit, and start dumping it in here. I think we'll just go ahead and use all of it. We'll go ahead and churn that for about 5 or 10 more minutes, and we'll see how it looks. Alrighty, let's see what we have here. Into our little containers. And look at that. Well, it's definitely got some nice brown color from that cinnamon, and the egg has contributed a nice yellowness. Let's, as always, chuck this in the freezer, and we'll see how it looks in the morning. Okay, I'm kind of excited about this. Oops. Well, it did freeze quite firm. Yeah, 2 scoops there, 2 little scoops. So there's one other ingredient that my fruitcakes usually have, and that would be pecans. Now, I do like pecans. I'm a little iffy on pecans, so I don't think we'll use any pecans, and we'll just use pecans. Let's throw some on there, and let's give this a taste. So it is firm. Let's make sure we get a pecan there. Wow. That does taste exactly like my fruitcakes. Good or bad, that's what it tastes like. Let's see if I can find some fruit in here. So there is enough fruit in there. As you can kind of tell that it's firm. It needs to probably warm up just a little bit before we really get to enjoy it. But there's blueberries, there's a cranberry in there. What I taste most of are those warm spices, the cinnamon, the clove, the allspice. Those are really what jump out the most. You do get some of the rummy flavors, which I could take or leave. But you know what? Overall, I think this was a success. I'm not going to complain about the way it turned out. In fact, I may share it with some of my local friends who get my fruitcakes, and we'll see what they think. All right, I appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.